Good day, guys. It's Johnny again for the testimonial of the week from Lifeways. The power of Lifeways X39, the only technology of its kind in the world today. The testimonial of 2024 week number 12 is breast cancer. As you can see on the slide, we hold a worldwide patent on the product, so you won't be able to get this product anywhere else. So please subscribe and share to my YouTube channel, and at the end of the slideshow you can get my number and you can contact me. I'll hook you up to the product. Thanks. I'll see you on the next slide.
It's estimated that this year, cancer will become the leading killer in this country. So if your doctor said to you, do this and you may lower your risk for cancer, wouldn't you just listen and do it? Well, today we're talking with a familiar face who listens and passionately lives by some groundbreaking protocols. And today she is sharing that health information with us. Here now from Calabasas, California is author and actress Suzanne Summers. Suzanne, welcome back to The Balancing Act. We always love having you on the show.
And I always love speaking with you.
Now, you've really made it a personal mission to educate yourself and the public about what's considered cutting-edge care to prevent cancer and to stay healthy. So tell us why this is important to you.
It's interesting. I don't think something like this is something that you choose yourself. I think it chooses you. And I became involved in health because of circumstances that happened in my life, probably starting 10 years ago with a breast cancer diagnosis. And I knew at that time that balanced hormones prevents disease. So when I wouldn't give up my bioidentical hormones, and when I refused chemotherapy, I was told at that time, well, you're going to die. And I said, I don't think so. I'm going to eat from here on in like my life depends on it, and I'm going to keep my hormones so balanced so that they become protective in me, and that's what I've done over the last 10 years.
Wow. Now, there was a recent Washington Post report on the president's cancer panel that says that Americans face, and this is a quote, grievous harm from chemicals in the air, food, and water that have largely gone unregulated and ignored. What surprised you the most about this?
I have it right here. I've read it, and it says, Reducing Environmental Cancer Risk, What We Can Do Now. And this is 240 pages that anybody can Google and read. And what this report says, in essence, is we are getting cancer from the chemicals. It is from what we're eating, it's the poisons on our food, it's the chemicals in our cosmetics, it's the radiation exposure, cell phones, electronics that we don't have any protection from them. It's from imbalanced hormones, it's from toxins in our household.
Now, doctors have told you there are 5 things anyone can do to reduce the risk of cancer. What are those 5 things?
We know we can clean up our house. We can, use green detergents and household cleaners. We can choose organic food. We can balance our hormones with bioidentical hormones, and I've written several books on the subject if you want to know about it, which will then manage your stress and allow you to sleep, because without balanced hormones you can't sleep. Those 5 things I just mentioned right now are all cancer protective genetic switches we have in our body that get turned off by poor food, chemicals, lack of sleep, not managing stress, and imbalanced hormones. But we have in our system a natural detoxification system called glutathione. I interviewed in Breakthrough, my last year's book, a scientist who was hired by the Department of Defense to develop a nanotechnology solution to keeping their submariners up for 36 or more hours without drugs. In doing so, he also created a nanotechnology patch that detoxed the body, called the glutathione patch. I've got one right here. You can go to SuzanneSummers.com, click on LifeWave, it goes directly to their link, and they will tell you all about it and how to get it.
Is this a little patch that you put on and then wear for 24 hours a day?
What glutathione patches are is organic amino acids that access the infrared light in our body. That's very hard for us lay people to understand. It works on the acupuncture points. It moves energy around. But what this detoxing does is protects you from the free radical assault that we're all under, the chemicals coming into our body. And what these free radicals do is cause our cells inside our body to malfunction. Too many malfunctioning cells, you're going to get cancer or some other terrible disease. Antioxidants like glutathione come into the body, and in layman's terms, again, I call it Suzanne science, eat free radicals. So if you keep a revolving door, the free radicals are going to keep coming in, but the patch is going to keep eating the free radicals. So that's the protection you get. If you keep yourself healthy as you are younger, you have a better shot at living out this long life without being one of the stats. And next year, cancer will be the biggest killer in the world. 50% of all American adults will be diagnosed with cancer next year. It's in this report, it's not me saying it.
So when you go to your regular doctor, say for just your annual checkup, and ask about a patch like this one, at this point, is it considered non-traditional? I mean, what's a traditional doctor going to say if you ask about this? Is this something that's prescribed? Is it something you can, I don't know, get over the counter?
You don't need a prescription. What your doctor's going to do is your doctor's going to laugh at you. Just like when you go to your doctor and say, I want bioidentical hormones, and they'll say, what, you're listening to that actress again. All I know is I've hit 63, had cancer once, I sleep 8 hours a night, my mood is even, my weight is right where I want it to be, I'm not overly wrinkled as a result of the way that I take care of myself. I have a sex drive, which most women my age do not, because without hormones, you can't feel sex. By putting the natural bioidentical hormones back in individualized just for you, non-drug, non-chemical, natural hormones, you get to be you again. You get it all back.
Wow, that's really, really great. Suzanne, thank you so much for joining us again, for caring so much about bringing this kind of new information to us. And of course, we always love having you here on The Balancing Act. You're welcome anytime.
Thanks. Thanks so much.
Now, if you would like more information on glutathione or any of the information Suzanne chatted with us about this morning, just go to SuzanneSummers.com.
So you see the way you wear the patches, like on the lady on my right hand side, just stuck on the back of her neck. It's an activation patch. So what happens, your stem cells, half of your stem cells go dormant by the age of 30, and when you turn to the age of 60, then the rest are dormant. So that patch activates your copper peptides, which in turn activates your stem cells. So that's as you can see on the slide. So I'll see you on the next one. Thanks a lot.
In 2017, my life just went, to a complete halt. I was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer. I did not see it coming. This might be too much information, but literally I was undressing and I saw it come out of my breast. I'm like, what? And that was a pretty scary time. And it was stage 3, and it had already moved into the lymph system, and it was serious. And so I just kind of ducked out of life for a year and treated myself. And I struggled between natural and Western medicine because I was so far advanced. And I decided to do the Western medicine, but support myself with natural, because that's what I do. And I did 9 months of chemo, double mastectomy, 6 months of radiation, and then, oh my God, 6 months later, after all of it, I had a reoccurrence. Thank God it wasn't metastatic, but that put me into something called PTSD. And you can have PTSD for lots of different reasons, right? I had it because I thought I was dying every single day from a new reoccurrence of cancer. And literally, I had 1 foot on earth and 1 foot in heaven. I wasn't really sure which way I was going at that point. And I was a pretty sick girl because all the chemo destroyed my colon at the same time. And so just like a really, really hard time. And I remember I was praying to God, source, whatever you want to call the divine, for me is God. I was praying to God, and I'm just like, I don't know what to do. And they want to put me on all these metastatic breast cancer drugs and all these anti-hormone drugs, and my body is reacting to all of them. As an example, I would try them. I never really said this before, but at night my teeth would grind for 8 hours at a time. I couldn't sleep at night because I was reacting so bad to the drugs. And I remember praying and saying, "What do I do?" And God said, "You got it on the second time, and you may take whatever drug you want to take until the side effect is worse than the medicine." And by the way, when I found the second reoccurrence, I found it. The doctors didn't find it, and the doctor said it was scar tissue. And I asked for another biopsy. So by this time, right, I'm not trusting anybody. Like, I didn't know who to trust me. And then it was like God. And so I just stopped everything. And I am not kidding you. About 2 months after I just stopped everything, my girlfriend, Dr. Rhonda Donahue, said, "I found stem cell patches. They're non-invasive. You put them on your heat of your skin like this. You wear it 12 hours on to activate, throw it away, 12 hours off to repair. Here's the cool thing, Marcy. It activates your stem cells, it makes more stem cells, and it resets your stem cells to a younger, healthier state. And I think we should try it because you got so much wrong with you, what could it hurt?" I'm like, okay. And so we got to sleep like this. And there was only 30. And so we divided. We each got 15. And I still remember I was in Oregon putting them on. I hadn't even told Peter about them yet because I just didn't know. And the first 2 days, metal detoxed out of my mouth. Like, I tasted the metal. That was the chemo detoxing. On day 5, I noticed my skin was really soft. I just kept touching my neck, and I didn't know why, but later I found out when you reactivate your stem cells, you make more collagen, which was interesting. And on day 10, I just knew I wasn't dying anymore. I didn't have PTSD. I was like good. I felt like I was 20 again. I had purpose. And I called up Rhonda, and I said, "Rhonda," she's a doctor, by the way, Dr. Rhonda Donahue. She has a clinic in Costa Mesa. I said, "Rhonda, I don't know what you just gave me, but this stuff works, and I guess I'm not going to heaven. I think I'm staying, and so we need to go share this with the world." And we did. And once again, I didn't see that this was really going to happen. But when the patch was doing what it was doing, how could I not tell people? Like, I felt like, I was given another chance to help heal humanity. And so what's really interesting is I did some research, and I went to PubMed.gov, which is the Institute of National Health website. And on there, I searched something called GHK copper peptide, which happens to be the protein that this activates. And when you search that, it says it does 3 really interesting things. It makes more connective tissue, more bony tissue, and it makes more fighter cells to go after the fast-growing cells. So for me, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is going to, I believe, stop a 3rd reoccurrence for me. And I have to say, I was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2017. It's now 2020. I've been on the patch for 1 year. I have been 2 years free of breast cancer. And I am so in gratitude that I got a second chance. And with that, I only had 5 patches left, right? And so I said, "Rhonda, we're gonna go see Peter." And Peter at the time was in Huntington Beach. And we drove down for lunch. And I literally took my 5 little patches out in a little plastic bag, and I zipped them up, and I said, "Here, try these. The patches work." And I remember, he goes, "Okay," and he puts them in his back pocket. And that was that. And then Rhonda Donahue, I had to go to another appointment, and Rhonda says, "Peter, let's go to lunch." Of course, Rhonda signed him up at lunch. Hello. So that was pretty super cute. I will say that 30% of your, or 50% of your stem cells stop working at age 30, and almost all stop working at age 60. I'm 53, so those stem cells were not really working anymore. And this reactivates them, and they turn into something called pluripotent stem cells. So they go in and turn into whatever cell your body needs for repair. And that's exactly what it did for me. And I'm just so thankful every day. And oh, the great side of that, Jackson, is yes, we're healed. Yes, cancer gone, but the hair is so long, the skin so soft. I'm in this little like tip meeting every Wednesday, and they're all older than me in their 60s and 70s, and they said, Marcy, you look 10 years younger. Okay, that was a cool call this morning. So with that, thank you. When you have chemo, most of the time you go bald, right? But I chose to wear something called a cold cap, because they put this ice on your head for 6 hours when you do the chemo every week. Or is it 10 hours? I don't know. It's like wearing a big ice cube. But what happens is you don't lose all your hair. So I didn't lose all my hair, but what happened is it like totally like fried off, like literally like this part of the hair was fried, and then I had a long mole after that. And yeah, I call it the chemo burn. It was chemo burn, and that's gone. I have to say that I don't exactly know why, but my girlfriend decided to cut into my hair again, and she kind of almost gave me a bi-level again. But we'll see in about I think 3 months. I bet this will already be down here. So we'll have to look. We'll have to say, okay, well, how is it growing out again? I don't know what she was thinking. Didn't she know I had mullet and bi-level PTSD, but she cut it again. So anyway, but hey, they have so much hair to cut. That's cool. Feel like I'm 53 and I'm in Aries, and so anybody that likes that stuff, like Aries are like really fast movers. But after chemo, I slowed way down. I would say I had until the patches, 50% of my days were bad days, and I just would sit in a chair. And now I'm pretty much 90% good days, and I have the energy of like when I was 20. And I mean, we work this business, we can't help it. We're calling, we're sharing, like it's a lot, and it's just fun, right? Like we're creating it, and that's been really a blessing.
You see what the power of life force can do to people. She's been on the batches herself, and she's clear of cancer. So in the first couple of days, you get 4,000 brand new stem cells growing in your body to fight all the disease and issues that you are having in your body. So that is what you call the power of life force. So think of this very clearly. If you have got issues or diseases, let us know. Let's see if we can help you. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next slide. Bye. This fantastic technology is all through David Schmidt. He's the founder and the CEO of the company. So below, you won't find us anywhere else in the world, because we're sitting with a worldwide patent on it. And if you drop me a message, my number is below. Then I'll hook you up to the product and help you live a younger, happier and healthier life. So please don't hesitate. Drop me a message or a telegram or WhatsApp, whatever you prefer, and I'll look you up to the product, and I'll be able to give you more information on it. And subscribe to my YouTube channel, and every week you can receive a testimonial of the week of all different diseases, and we'll take it from there and see if we can help you. God bless you, and hope to hear from you soon.